Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala 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 Jaya Jaya
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala 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 Jaya Jaya
Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala 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 Jaya Jaya
Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya.
Mother Yashoda was always overwhelmed by intense love for Kanhaiya, not knowing who Kanhaiya was or how powerful he was. Because of maternal affection for Kanhaiya, she never even cared to know who he was. Therefore, when she saw that her son had become excessively afraid, she threw the stick away and desired to bind him so that he would not commit any further naughty activities. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has no beginning and no end, no exterior and no interior, no front and no rear. In other words, he is all-pervading. Because he is not under the influence of the element of time, for him there is no difference between past, present and future. He exists in his own transcendental form at all times. Being absolute, beyond relativity, he is free from distinctions between cause and effect. Although he is the cause and effect of everything, that unmanifested person who is beyond the perception of the senses had now appeared as a human child, and Mother Yashoda, considering him her own ordinary child, bound him to the wooden mortar with a rope. When Mother Yashoda was trying to bind the offending child, she saw that the binding rope was short by a distance the width of 2 fingers. Thus, she brought another rope to join it.
जगतो यो जगज्जय त्वमात्मात्मजं माव्यातं मार्त्यलिङ्गं मधुक्षजं गोपीकोलुखलिताम्ना बबन्धप्रकृतं यथा.
This new rope also was shot by a measurement of 2 fingers, and when another rope was joined to it, it was still 2 fingers too short. As many ropes as she joined, all of them failed. Their shortness could not be overcome. Thus Mother Yashoda joined whatever ropes were available in the household, but still she failed in her attempt to bind Kanhaiya. Mother Yashoda's friends, the elderly gopis in the neighborhood, were smiling and enjoying the fun. Similarly, Mother Yashoda, although laboring in that way, was also smiling. All of them were struck with wonder. because of Mother Yashoda's hard labor, her whole body became covered with perspiration, and the flowers and comb were falling from her hair. When child Kanhaiya saw his mother thus fatigued, he became merciful to her and agreed to be bound. O Maharaja Parikshit, this entire universe with its great exalted demigods like Lord Shankara, Lord Brahma and Lord Indra is under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yet, the Supreme Lord has one transcendental attribute. He comes under the control of his devotees. This was now exhibited by Kanhaiya in this pastime. Neither Lord Brahma nor Lord Shankara nor even the goddess of fortune, who is always the better half of the Supreme Lord, can obtain from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Deliverer from this material world, such mercy as received by Mother Yashoda. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kanhaiya, the son of Mother Yashoda, is accessible to devotees engaged in spontaneous loving service. But he is not as easily accessible to mental speculators, to those striving for self-realization by severe austerities and penances, or to those who consider the body the same as the self. While Mother Yashoda was very busy with household affairs, the Supreme Lord Kanhaiya observed twin trees known as Yamala Arjuna, which in the former millennium had been the demigod sons of Kuvera. In their former birth, these two sons, known as Nalakuvara and Manigriva, were extremely opulent and fortunate, but because of pride and false prestige, they did not care about anyone, and thus Narada Muni cursed them to become trees.
Sachidananda Rupam Dashatundalam Gokule Vrajamanam Yashoda Biolu Kalada Vamanam Paramiskamadhyanta Kojucharam Yugmam Nijandam Karamboja Yugmena Satam Kanyam Muhu Sashakam Patir Kankakanta Stita Graivadamodaram Bhakti Varam Lila Virananda Kunde Sarvoshani Majanta Madhyapayanda Shadiyeshitageshu Bhaktan Jitatam Guna Prematastam Shatavitimande vadimba nachanyam bridiham varisadasimba. Idam teva purnato gopala balam sadame manasya virastam tilam. Nilai, Vitam Kuntalai, Snigdharaktai, Sthakoja. Muhus Chumbitam Bimbarathadarami, Manashtavirastam Alam Laksharam. Shila Prabhu Dukha Jaladima. Vipavishti Vrisyati Dinam Vatanu Vihanishama Madhyam Vejaki Krishna. Veratmajo Badham Chaiva Jada Tayamochito Bhakti Bhajo Petota. Tata Prema Bhaktim Swakame Priyacha Namokshe Graho Meti Damodare. Purare Pidane Karyodaraya to Vishaya Dame. Namo Radhikaya Kariya Priyaya Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Tuvyam. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
King Parikshit inquired from Sukadeva Goswami,
O great powerful saint, what was the cause of Nalakuvara and Manikriva's curse by Narada Muni? What did they do that was so hateful that even Narada, the great sage, became angry at them? Kindly describe this to me.
Sukadeva Goswami said, O King Parikshit, because the two sons of Kuvera have been elevated to the association of Lord Shankara, of which they were very much proud, they were allowed to wander in a garden attached to Kailasa hill on the banks of the Mandakini river. Taking advantage of this, they used to drink a kind of liquor called Varuni. Accompanied by women singing after them, they would wander in that garden of flowers, their eyes always rolling in intoxication. Within the waters of the Mandakini Ganges, which were crowded with gardens of lotus flowers, the two sons of Kuvera would enjoy young girls just like two male elephants enjoying in the water with female elephants. O Maharaja Parikshit, by some auspicious opportunity for the two boys, the great saint Devarshi Narada once appeared there by chance. Seeing them intoxicated with rolling eyes, he could understand their situation. Upon seeing Narada, the naked young girls of the demigods were very much ashamed. Afraid of being cursed, they covered their bodies with their garments. But the two young sons of Kuvera did not do so. Instead, not caring about Narada, they remained naked. Seeing the two sons of the demigods naked and intoxicated by opulence and false prestige, Devarshi Narada, in order to show them special mercy, desired to give them a special curse. Thus, he spoke as follows. Narada Muni said, among all the attractions of material enjoyment, The attraction of riches bewilders one's intelligence more than having beautiful bodily features, taking birth in an aristocratic family and being learned. When one is uneducated but falsely puffed up by wealth, the result is that one enjoys his wealth in enjoying wine, women, and gambling. Unable to control their senses, rascals who are falsely proud of their riches, of their birth in aristocratic families, are so cruel that to maintain their perishable bodies, which they think will never grow old or die, they kill poor animals without mercy. Sometimes they kill animals merely to enjoy excursion. While living, one may be proud of one's body, thinking oneself a very big man, minister, president, or even demigod. But whatever one may be, after death, this body will turn either into worms, into stool, or even ashes. If one kills poor animals to satisfy the temporary whims of this body, one does not know that he will suffer in his next birth. For such a sinful miscreant must go to hell and suffer the results of his actions. While alive, does this body belong to its employer, to the self, to the father, the mother, or the mother's father? Does it belong to the person who takes it away by force, to the slave master who purchases it, or to the sons who burn it in the fire? Or if the body is not burned, does it belong to the dogs that eat it? Among the many possible claimants, who is the rightful claimant? Not to ascertain this, but instead to maintain the body by sinful activities is not good. This body, after all, is produced by the unmanifested nature and again annihilated and merged in the natural elements. Therefore, it is the common property of everyone. Under the circumstances, who but a rascal claims this property as his own, and while maintaining it, commits such sinful activities as killing animals just to satisfy his whims? Unless one is a rascal, one cannot commit such sinful activities. Atheistic fools and rascals who are very much proud of wealth fail to see things as they are. Therefore, returning them to poverty is the proper ointment for their eyes, so they may see things as they are. At least, a poverty-stricken man can realize how painful poverty is, and therefore he will not want others to be in a painful condition like his own. By seeing their faces, one whose body has been pricked by pins can understand the pain of others who are pinpricked, realizing that this pain is the same for everyone. He does not want others to suffer in this way, but one who has never been pricked by pins cannot understand this pain. A poverty-stricken man must automatically undergo austerities and penances because he does not have the wealth to possess anything. Thus, his false prestige is vanquished. Always in need of food, shelter, and clothing, he must be satisfied with what is obtained by the mercy of Providence. Undergoing such compulsory austerities is good for him. because this purifies him and completely frees him from false ego. Always hungry, longing for sufficient food, a poverty-stricken man gradually becomes weaker and weaker. Having no extra potency, his senses are automatically pacified. A poverty-stricken man, therefore, is unable to perform harmful, envious activities. In other words, such a man automatically gains the results of the austerities and penances adopted voluntarily by saintly persons. Saintly persons may freely associate with those who are poverty-stricken, but not with those who are rich. A poverty-stricken man, by association with saintly persons, very soon becomes uninterested in material desires, and the dirty things within the core of his heart are cleansed away. Saintly persons, sadhus, think of Kanhaiya 24 hours a day. They have no other interest. Why should people neglect the association of such exalted spiritual personalities and try to associate with materialists, taking shelter of non-devotees, most of whom are proud and rich? Therefore, since these two persons, drunk with the liquor named Varuni or Madhavi, are unable to control their senses, have been blinded by the pride of celestial opulence, and have become attached to women, I shall relieve them of their false prestige. These two young men, Nalakuvara and Manigriva, are by fortune the sons of the great demigod Kuvera, but because of false prestige and madness, after drinking liquor, they are so fallen that they are naked but cannot understand that they are. Therefore, because they are living like trees, for trees are naked but are not conscious, these two young men should receive the bodies of trees. This will be proper punishment nonetheless after they become trees, and until they are released by my mercy, they will have remembrance of their past sinful activities. Moreover, by my special favor, after the expiry of 100 years by the measurement of the demigods, they will be able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, face to face, and thus revive their real position as devotees. Sukadeva Goswami continued, having thus spoken, the great saint Devarshi Narada returned to his ashrama known as Narayana Ashrama, and Nalakuvara and Manigriva became twin Arjuna trees. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Kanhaiya, to fulfill the truthfulness of the words of the greatest devotee, Narada, slowly went to that spot where the twin Arjuna trees were standing.
Although these two young men are the sons of the very rich Kuvera, I have nothing to do with them. Devarishi Narada is my very dear and affectionate devotee, and therefore, because he wanted me to come face to face with them, I must do so for their deliverance.
Having thus spoken, Kanhaiya soon entered between the two Arjuna trees, and thus the big mortar to which he was bound turned crosswise and stuck between them. By dragging behind him with great force the wooden mortar tied to his belly, the boy Kanhaiya uprooted the two trees. By the great strength of the Supreme Person, the two trees with their trunks, leaves and branches trembled severely and fell to the ground with a great crash. Thereafter, in that very place where the two Arjuna trees had fallen, two great, perfect personalities who appeared like fire personified came out of the two trees. The effulgence of their beauty illuminating all directions. With bowed heads, they offered obeisances to Kanhaiya, and with hands folded, they spoke the following words. O Lord Kanhaiya, your opulent mysticism is inconceivable. You are the supreme, original person, the cause of all causes, immediate and remote, and you are beyond this material creation. Learned Brahmanas know, on the basis of the Vedic statement, Sarvam Khalavidam Brahma, that you are everything and that this cosmic manifestation in its gross and subtle aspects is your form. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the controller of everything, the body, life, ego, and senses of every living entity are your own self. You are the Supreme Person, Vishnu, the imperishable controller. You are the time factor, the immediate cause and you are material nature, consisting of the three modes: passion, goodness, and ignorance. You are the original cause of this material manifestation. You are the super soul, and therefore you know everything within the core of the heart of every living entity. O Lord, you exist before the creation. Therefore, who, trapped by a body of material qualities in this material world, can understand you? O Lord, whose glories are covered by your own energy, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are Sankarshan, the origin of creation, and you are Vasudeva, the origin of Chaturvyuha. Because you are everything and are therefore the Supreme Brahma, we simply offer our respectful obeisances unto you, appearing in bodies like those of an ordinary fish, tortoise, and hog. You exhibit activities impossible for such creatures to perform: extraordinary, incomparable, transcendental activities of unlimited power and strength. These bodies of yours, therefore, not made of material elements, but are incarnations of your Supreme Personality. You are the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, who have now appeared with full potency for the benefit of all living entities within this material world. O supremely auspicious, we offer our respectful obeisances unto you. You are the supreme good, O most famous descendant and controller of the Yadu dynasty, O son of Vasudeva, O most peaceful. Let us offer our obeisances unto your lotus feet. O supreme form, we are always servants of your servants, especially of Narada Muni. Now give us permission to leave for our home. It is by the grace and mercy of Narada Muni that we have been able to see you face to face. Henceforth, may all our words describe your pastimes. May our ears engage in oral reception of your glories. May our hands, legs, and other senses engage in actions pleasing to you. And may our minds always think of your lotus feet. May our heads offer our obeisances to everything within this world, because all things are also your different forms. And may our eyes see the forms of Vaishnavas who are non-different from you.
Krishna Krishna Mahayogimstam Ajaha Purusha Para Vyakta Vyaktam Idam Vishwam Rupam Te Brahmana Vidu. Tam अनुजानिहीनो भूमंस वानुचर किङ्करो दर्शनं नो भगवतर्षि आसीदनुग्रहान्
Sukadeva Goswami continued, "The two demigods thus offered prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although Sri Kanhaiya, the Supreme Godhead, is the master of all and was certainly Gokuleshwara, the master of Gokula, he was bound to the wooden mortar by the ropes of the gopis, and therefore, smiling wildly, he spoke to the sons of Kuvera the following words. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
The great Saint Narada Muni is very merciful. By his curse, he showed the greatest favor to both of you, who were mad after material opulence and who had thus become blind. Although you fell from the higher planet Swargaloka and became trees, you were most favored by him. I knew of all these incidents from the very beginning. When one is face to face with the sun, there is no longer darkness for one's eyes. Similarly, when one is face to face with a sadhu, a devotee who is fully determined and surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one will no longer be subject to material bondage. Oh Nalakuvara and Manigriva, now you may both return home. Since you desire to be always absorbed in my devotional service, your desire to develop love and affection for me will be fulfilled. And now you will never fall from that platform.
Sukadeva Goswami said, The Supreme Personality of Godhead, having spoken to the two demigods in this way, they circumambulated the Lord, who was bound to the wooden mortar, and offered obeisances to him. After taking the permission of Lord Kanhaiya, they returned to their respective homes.
Chintamani prakada satma sukapa viksa Yaksha vrite sushura vira vipala jantam Lakshmi saharasata sambhava sevyamara Govinda nadi purushantamaham vayami Venum kvananta naravinda dalajatasam Varavatan samasita buddha sundarangam Kandarpa kotika maniya vishesasruva Govinda nadi purushantamaham vayami Alola chandra kala sattva namalya vamsi Gana pranaya keli kala vilasa Syama trivanga lalita yata prakasam Govinda nadi purusantamahavayami Govinda nadi purusantamahavayami Govinda nadi purusantamahavayami Govinda Anandati maya salu ala vigrasya Govinda Adipusha Namahavayami Govinda Adipusha Namahavayami Govinda Adipusha Namahavayami Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam Adhyam Purana Purusam Navayauvanam Cha Vedeshu Durlavam Adurlavanatma Bhakta Govinda Nadi Purusantamahavayami Antastu koti satavatsara sampragamyo Vayoratapi manaso munipungavana Sopyasti yatra padasinya vichintyata tue